For the past 2 years, I've been saying that quarterback Dillon Gabriel is one of the most mechanically sound QBs in college football. In today's show, I'm going to analyze his performance in Cleveland's preseason games, where his great feet, pocket management, and command of the playbook are just exactly like they were at the University of Oregon. This is QB Unfiltered, my take. Don't sleep on Dillon Gabriel.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
Okay, as a football fan, I'm sure that you are all aware of the drama that has been going on in Cleveland's training camp surrounding the quarterback position. Dillon Gabriel, the southpaw out of the University of Oregon, has quietly gone about his business and has really shown in the preseason games that he has everything it takes to be a really solid NFL quarterback. And today I'm going to dive into game clips in the preseason and give you my reasons why I think Gabriel's game translates to success for the Cleveland offensive scheme. And I'm going to analyze all of his mechanics and his skill set that I really, really like. As always, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, QB Unfiltered. I greatly appreciate the support. Okay, if you've watched any of the videos that I did on Dillon Gabriel when he played in college at the University of Oregon, you know that I think he had in his college career, and even now, some of the best feet I've ever seen on a quarterback. It's what makes him good. And as I've said a lot of times on this show, with QBs, it starts and ends with your feet. The feet are responsible for getting the ball out on time, and your feet are responsible for accuracy in a lot of situations. And as important as feet are to a quarterback, it absolutely amazes me how many quarterbacks in the NFL have horseshit feet when they throw the football. Now, it may not be obvious when you watch these guys play, but the little subtle mistakes, sloppiness, laziness with their feet really affects the passing game. Dillon Gabriel doesn't have that problem. And so with a quarterback, it's my opinion, when he gets to that last step of his drop and he ends up in his base or his platform, he wants to have his feet under his shoulders or as close to under his shoulders as he can. And guys that do that and end up with a great platform, they don't have to take extra steps in order to get their feet right, their weight distribution, and their balance right to start the throwing process. So no matter what Gabriel is doing in the pocket, whether he's GSTing, which is grab, stab, and throw, he's taking a 3-step drop, he's going 3 and hitch, he's going 5-step drop, or he's rolling to his left, patting his feet down, setting up and throwing, or he's rolling to his right, patting his feet down and flipping his hips to throw the football. No matter what situation he's in, when you watch these clips that I'm going to show you today and when you watch him for the rest of the season, just check out where his feet end up when he comes to a stationary position. It's a thing of beauty. And you know, with that being said, there's going to be some clips that I'm going to show you today. One in particular where he gets in trouble with slow, lazy, sloppy feet. So, you know, he's not perfect. And like I said at the top of the show, I think he's got the sweetest feet going for any NFL quarterback. Okay, and before we jump into this thing, real quickly, I want to go over the skills, the skill set, and the reasons that I really like Dillon Gabriel. This goes all the way back to college, you know, University of Oklahoma, University of Oregon, and now the Cleveland Browns in the NFL. Okay, it starts with great feet, and I can't say this enough, okay? He's got a great base, and he's got quick feet. All right. He's fast twitch with his feet. Great pocket management. His eyes never come down to the rush. Okay. You see a lot of quarterbacks that when their first read is taken away or when they start to sense the pocket starting to break down, their eyes come down to the rush. And as soon as that happens, it's over with the passing game. It is over. Doesn't matter what the receivers are doing. Doesn't matter what route scheme you've got going on. As soon as the quarterback drops his eyes and he's trying to figure out now in his mind what his escape route's going to be, it's over. All right. Gabriel doesn't do it, and it's obvious he doesn't do that because you'll see him in the pocket moving around, sliding, shuffling back, climbing up in the pocket, and he's always keeping his eyes downfield trying to locate receivers, read coverage, find his check down route. Okay, and that leads me to the check down. Gabriel always knows where his check down is. You know, that was one of the rules that I had with my quarterbacks that we had chiseled into the mountain on how to play QB. Always know where your check down is. Always. And you're going to see in these clips where when he starts to get in trouble, and at some point in time with every quarterback on every pass play, that clock's going to run out and that ball needs to be out of your hand. He always knows where to flip his eyes and find his running back, usually, and spit the ball to him and keep moving the sticks. Okay, he throws his receivers open. That's a great skill for a quarterback. You can get a lot of completions just by throwing the ball to the shoulder away from the nearest defender. He gets the ball out on time, and this has everything to do with his feet. Okay, clean feet, that ball's coming out on time. All right, he has total command of the offense, the passing offense, and that's very obvious when you watch him play. His read progressions are really clean. 1 to 2 to 3 to check down, or 1 to 2 to check down, or 1-2 on play side to snap the eyes to the backside to find your check down. Okay, he totally understands what he's doing out there, understands what the OC wants to happen with the passing game, and he's in total command when that ball is snapped. He gets on top of his throws. You've heard me talk about this before in other shows. So anytime that he has to drive the football, out routes, curl routes, benders, dig routes, where he's got to throw the ball on a one, throwing it with pace on it, you're going to see him pick that back foot up off the ground, his left foot. His weight's going to be totally on that right foot. He gets on top of that throw and throws it downhill. All right, he's very, very accurate when he throws the football. And again, that has a ton to do with his feet, his center of gravity, his weight distribution, and his balance. Okay, and then lastly, he plays with tremendous calmness. All right, and I've talked about this before with Cam Ward. This is a quality that every quarterback, I think, needs to have. I mean, you play with emotion, yes, but you play with a sense of being stoic out there. You're on an even keel. You don't get too high. You don't get too low, right? You just keep moving forward, stay focused, focus on the next play. Okay, let's jump into some clips here. Now, we're going to start off with the Rams game, and I'm going to say this. I got to get this out of my system, and then you won't hear me say this the rest of the time. The Browns have Gabriel in the wrong staggered stance. As a left-handed quarterback, Gabriel should have his left foot up and his right foot back. And when a quarterback's in the wrong staggered stance, he has to take an extra step in his drop. So Gabriel's 3-step drop becomes a 4-step drop, and his 5-step drop becomes a 6-step drop. Now, I'm not going to call it a 4-step drop. So when I'm done talking about this, it's over and done with, and I'm just going to call them 3-step or 5-step drops. But that drives me nuts. I don't know why they do that. I got a pretty good idea. I think it's a pretty flimsy reason. Let's go with this first play here. Now, Cleveland's running a quick game, and Gabriel's going to GST and key left. GST, grab, stab, and throw. You want to do this in the quick game where you're not taking a drop. You're just getting that snap, getting your feet underneath you, and getting the ball out. And he's keying left here, and I'm really not sure why he's doing this, because when they motion, the rotation of the coverage is taken away. The one receiver here to the left, plus that cornerback to the outside to the left, is rolled up in press. So the left side, in my opinion, is not a winner. I'm not sure why Dillon Gabriel is keying it on the snap, but this is what I like. This is what I love about what Gabriel does. He knows he's got nothing going on when he keys left, so he snaps his eyes to the backside. Cleveland's got this layered dig route going on, plus they've got the running back swinging to that side. There's your check down, and he just delivers a strike to the shallower dig route, okay? They take away the play side reads. I don't panic. I don't do anything stupid with my feet. I just snap eyes, know where my backside reads are, and deliver a strike. Okay, next play. This is textbook now. The Browns are running 4 stop routes versus what I think is cover 4 from the Rams. Now, his decision to go to the number 3 receiver here is perfect. And the reason why he's going to this guy is because he's basically running the stop route versus air. So they've got an inside linebacker lined up inside of him, the number 3 receiver. And Gabriel knows that this is like stealing because that inside backer, as he drops to hook, he's still going to keep that inside leverage. And all Gabriel needs to do is deliver the ball and put it on that receiver's outside shoulder away from that inside backer, which is called throwing the receiver open. And that's exactly what he does. So he takes a nice clean drop. It's bang, bang. The ball's out. And it's pitch and catch. Okay, third play. Now, this is beautiful execution here. The Browns are running a 12-yard stop route, and the Rams are playing cover 1, which is man free. Now, I want you to watch how quick and efficient Gabriel gets his feet under him after he makes the ball fake to the running back. That ball is out before the receiver snaps his eyes to Gabriel. And that throw is on the outside shoulder, perfectly thrown. When the timing and the ball placement's like this also is unstoppable. Okay, next play. Now, Gabriel, for whatever reason on this play, and this is kind of something you don't see a whole lot from him, he's got really slow, lazy feet on this out route, and it's almost a pick 6 disaster. You know, I don't know what he's doing here. I don't know why his feet are this slow and lazy, but when that receiver's running that rollover speed out, that ball has to come out of your hand just as soon as he starts to roll over. Because as soon as he's rolling over, he's starting to snap eyes to the QB. That ball needs to be in the air, and he throws it way late here, and they really avoided a disaster on that one. Okay, fifth play. Now, I want you to check out the great rhythm and tempo on this throw. Gabriel's got a 2-way go with the flat defender in between the out route and the flat route. Okay, he can go to either one of those guys. And Dillon throws a nice 2. So a 2 now is, putting some air on the ball, not throwing it flat like a 1 and not putting a ton of air underneath it like a 3. Okay, but it's throwing it soft and layering it in there, and he is layering it over that flat defender, and he dimes it on the out route here. This is a great throw, great rhythm and tempo by Dillon Gabriel. Okay, let's move to the Philly game now, and on the first play that we're going to talk about, again, he's GST and grab stabbing and throwing for the quick game. He's keying the hitch route to the right to the tight end, which is on the same side running that out route. Both those guys are covered. And then he just calmly finds his running back on the check down for a first down. Okay. Always know where your check down is. Next play versus man coverage. The Browns are running curls across the board. Gabriel peeks at the left outside curl and then comes over to the ball to the middle curl, and he throws his receiver open. So this ball is a little bit late, but the location of the throw, it's impossible for this defender to stop. And this is a good route by this middle curl guy. He really gets that defender to think he's running like a deep crosser, and he gets him to start to turn his hips. And as soon as you can get the defender to do that, it's game over, as long as that ball is thrown on time and thrown to the shoulder away from the defender, which Gabriel does here. Well done. Okay, now this next play, I talked about this exact route versus this exact coverage a video or two back when I was discussing Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. So Cleveland's running the mesh route with the running back running a rail route now to the left, which is a vertical down the sideline. And versus man coverage, most of the time you've got your quarterback looking at that matchup with the running back on a linebacker. And as you drop, your key in that back, is he going to be a winner? If he is, you're going to put air underneath the ball and let him go make a play. But if that guy isn't a winner, which he isn't here, then Gabriel knows that they're getting man coverage. And on those mesh routes now, when they crisscross, they're going to continue to burst across the field. Now, the mesher coming from left to right gets hung up, in the quote unquote rub, right? They pick off dudes that are running with the other mesher. But the mesher coming from right to left is able to come through clean. And getting back to Gabriel now, he knows in man coverage that the mesher coming from right to left is going to be bursting into his line of sight. So he goes running back. He's not there. He just easily slides his eyes, and here comes his mesh guy, and now it's just pitch and catch. This is exactly what Cam Ward did in his game a couple weeks ago. This is well done by Dillon Gabriel. Okay, play number 4. This is like stealing for Cleveland. The Browns are in a 5 wideout formation, and Philly empties the box defensively. So they're playing cover 4. And because they're playing cover 4 with a 4-man front, they got to take their linebackers and walk them basically out of the box. They got nobody in there. And what kills that is any route coming back inside to that big chunk of grass. And Cleveland's going to run the bender with the number 3 receiver, which, like I said, this is like stealing. Now, I don't think Gabriel needed to take this hitch step, so he's taken this quote-unquote 3-step drop, and I think that ball needs to come out as soon as that receiver sticks his toe in the ground and starts to make the break on the bender. So Gabriel adds that hitch step in there. The guy's wide ass open, right? It's pitch and catch, but you really want to get that ball to that guy as soon as possible on his break so that the safeties don't get in on making any type of big hit on the bender receiver. But this is easy money for Cleveland and a really nice throw by Gabriel. All right, so here's the bottom line with Dillon Gabriel. He's not the biggest quarterback in the NFL, and he doesn't have the strongest arm in the NFL. He's not going to produce any off-field drama and nonsense, right? He is mechanically as sound as any quarterback I've seen in a while. He does run the offense the way it's intended to be run by the offensive coordinator. He is a quiet leader and a stoic competitor, and he wins. He's a winner. Okay, so let me know if you agree or disagree with my breakdown of Dillon Gabriel. As I'm recording this today, this is Tuesday, Cleveland just came out saying that he's going into the season as their number 2 quarterback. I'm sure that that's caused a whole bunch of bullshit to be going on social media and all that stuff. But I really think that he earned that position in training camp. And I think he's going to be a solid guy for them this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing his progress in his rookie year this year in the NFL. But I'm telling you, this guy is got some really good skills with great feet. He's really efficient when he throws the ball, and he knows what he's doing out there with the passing game. Okay, this has been QB Unfiltered. And remember, always throw the ball short to guys who can score. See ya.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.